What's good, everyone? This is the kid DC Wrestling back at it again with another video with your 2021 Money in the Bank predictions. The Money in the Bank pay-per-view will be taking place this Sunday night, July 18th. And this is a very special event because this is the first official WWE pay-per-view officially back with fans, as WWE is officially going back on touring this Friday. Very excited, man, with fans coming back. I said it before and I said it again, man. Fans really play a huge part in wrestling. No matter what type of wrestling is, no matter what wrestling company it is, the fans play a huge part. So to see the fans back is absolutely, as Bobby Roode would say it, glorious. So we ain't gonna waste any time, man. We're gonna get straight to it. We have the Raw Tag Team title match playa between AJ Styles and Omos defending their titles against the Viking Raiders, Eric and Ivar. I think this is going to be a pretty solid match, to say the least. Now, in my opinion, I do think that AJ Styles and Omos, some way, somehow, they'll probably, heel tactics or something, they will find a way to win. So I will have AJ Styles and Omos picking up the win. They will be retaining their Raw Tag Team Championships. All right, so the next match, we got a match for the Raw Women's Championship between Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. Hopefully this is the end of the Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair feud, because honestly, this feud has been such a downer. It's really bad, from the booking of it to, deciding on who's heel, who's face. That's been one of my major issues with this feud, is who's the heel, who's the face. So hopefully, man, this ends it, because, it has to. And honestly, I do see Rhea Ripley retaining her title against Charlotte Flair. Charlotte, who knows, man? Maybe she could return. Maybe she could feud with Becky, or Becky could come back and feud with, Rhea. Because, honestly, I do think Becky Lynch is on her way back to WWE. And if you've been seeing in her photos, she's clearly on her way back. So, I wouldn't be surprised if Lynch comes back, challenges Rhea Ripley for the the Raw Women's Championship at SummerSlam. And if for some way, somehow Charlotte wins, then either way she'll challenge. So, but in my personal opinion, Rhea retains her title. All right, so we have the WWE Championship being defended as Bobby Lashley takes on Kofi Kingston. Man, I believe this kind of felt like, in a lot of people's eyes, it's kind of felt like a filler feud, mainly because a lot of people were thinking that Lashley was going to face Brock next at SummerSlam. But, I actually like this feud. This has actually been a really good feud, man. Kofi, has done such a good job coming off as a babyface. Xavier, too. And Lashley, just being that crazy, serious heel, just great at what he does. So this is actually shaping up to be a really great match. In the end, man, and, with Lashley, losing on Monday Night Raw, and just the way Lashley's been these past few weeks, kind of makes you think that some way, somehow, he's going to lose at Money in the Bank, but I hope not. So I'm predicting that Lashley retains his WWE Championship. The almighty era continues. As Lashley retains. So after that, man, we have a dream match. Spear versus Spear, the WWE Universal Championship match, Roman Reigns versus Edge. This was originally supposed to be the main event of WrestleMania 37, but of course, Daniel Bryan, in many people's eyes, had to whine, complain, and we got the triple threat match. But now there ain't no more Daniel Bryan. Daniel is most likely going to be going off to an AEW or something. This is now the match, Roman Reigns versus Edge. I'm really excited for this match. This is one of my most exciting matches, and one of the most matches I am looking forward to. The matches that are not, the Money in the Bank ladder matches. I have Roman Reigns retaining his Universal Championship. Obviously, they've been teasing it. Edge is obviously going to be moving on with Rollins either. Well, who knows, man? Rollins, because this could be the main event, actually. So who knows? Rollins could, come in and attack Edge, or who knows? But I think that's what's going to happen. Edge and Rollins at SummerSlam, Reigns versus Cena at SummerSlam. All right, so now that we've got all the title matches out the way, we are going to move on to the Money in the Bank ladder matches. First, we're going to start with the women. I love the Money in the Bank ladder matches, by the way. So obviously, I'm really looking forward to these matches, and I'll get to the men's and why the men's is so important for this year. But on the women's side, we have Asuka versus Naomi versus Alexa Bliss versus Nikki Ash versus Liv Morgan versus Zelina Vega versus Natalya. She will be taking Carmella's place. And to be decided, I don't know who that to be decided is. I guess we'll find out on SmackDown. Who knows? Maybe it could be Becky Lynch or Sonya Deville, or who knows? We'll have to find out. But I'm going to pick two people. One for the Raw side, one for the SmackDown side. On the Raw side, I got Nikki Ash winning. Obviously with the superhero gimmick, and you can tell they're going in on the superhero gimmick. So Nikki Ash, if someone on Raw does win. And on the SmackDown side, Liv Morgan, with the story they've been going with Liv Morgan these past few weeks, it's seeming like she's getting some sort of a push, which is great because Liv Morgan, for me, she's decent in the ring, great work rate, pal. But overall, man, she decent in the ring. And obviously Paul Heyman loved her. So, which obviously was the reason why she was getting a big mega push last year. But, Bruce stepped in and was like, nah, we ain't doing that. But it seems like we are doing that. So I got Liv winning that one. So one of those two women I'm fine with. Either, will be fine. Now, over on the men's side, we got Ricochet versus John Morrison versus Riddle versus Drew McIntyre versus Big E versus Kevin Owens versus King Nakamura versus Seth Rollins. What I love about this Money in the Bank ladder match, and even on the women's side too, is that you look at the card, you look at the match, it's very unpredictable. That's what I love about Money in the Bank ladder matches and Royal Rumbles, and how I think they should be. They should be unpredictable, because a lot of times when you have these type of matches, they're so predictable. Like you know for sure who's gonna win the match. And I like how this card, these matches are unpredictable, because honestly, you look at all of these people and it's like, especially on the men's side, you can be like, oh, they could win. Nakamura is a possibility. Rollins, Owens, Ricochet, Morrison, Riddle, Now, like the women, I do have two men, either from Raw and SmackDown, picking up this win. Over on the Raw side is obvious. Drew McIntyre, man. Drew McIntyre, he's just, I feel like that if McIntyre wins, he could probably cash it in on Roman. Who knows? Anything could happen. And then on the SmackDown side, Big E. Big E just seems like more favorable on the SmackDown side than the others. And obviously, Big E is another one who has been, a lot of people been saying who should be prompted up as a big star, maybe even dethrone Roman as Universal Champ. So, one of those two guys would be interesting. So, anyways, that's the video, guys. That is my Money in the Bank 2021 review. I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to like, subscribe. Tell me in the comments, what are your thoughts on Money in the Bank, and who do you think is going to walk out as the winners of this year's pay-per-view? So, anyways, this has been the Kid DC Wrestling, and so, yeah.